Good morning. And Happy New Year. Welcome to the year 2015. This morning, our Youth Minister's Assistant, Haley Arakaki, was first time leading the Dharma School service and did a great job. Great job, Haley. You go, girl. Oh, wow. Applause for chanting. All right. Well, we hope everyone had a wonderful winter holiday break filled with family and friends. This morning, Reverend Tim and Reverend Carol are taking care of the Marysville Temple, and my boss, Reverend Patty, is taking care of Placer again. But all of Team Betsuin sends their best New Year's wishes to everyone here, to all our friends of the Betsuin, for a happy and healthy 2015. Once again, in December, Patty and I made our annual Northern California tour, a pre-Christmas trek down to Fresno to be with her family, then up to San Francisco on Christmas Day to be with my family, then back home to Sacramento. And it is always wonderful to be with family, and it is always so nice to come home. Each year, we pack up our car with presents, and we come home with even more. It's a wonderful time of gift giving and receiving and enjoying the love and friendship of family. Fortunately, it was right after all of the gatherings and the partying that I came down with that flu bug that has been circulating. But on the upside, I lost 7 pounds. So there was even a silver lining to that. But we hope that everyone had a very meaningful and memorable winter holiday. This morning is our first Dharma school service for the new year. And with this Arctic blast that's blowing through Northern California, it feels even better, even nicer to sit here in our toasty warm hondo on this very, very chilly January Sunday morning. And so knowing how cold it is, even more, we really appreciate all of you being here today. At every level, I found that I am so very proud of our temple. I'm proud of our members, proud of our programs, and proud of the positive impact that this temple has been able to provide for so many families and so many lives over the years. Founded in 1899, this year our Sacramento Betsuin will be 116 years old. We baby boomers who have grown up from the 1950s and into the 1980s, I think we are probably the generation that has benefited most from being part of the Betsuin. And with each passing year, I realize that we are not so young anymore. Many of us, like me, we are now on Medicare and collecting Social Security. Yes! And for the past 25 years or so, I felt that as a generation, this has been our time. Members of our generation have been leaders of countries around the world. The boomers have become and have been the leaders and caretakers of our nation and our communities, and it has also been our generation's time to be the leaders and caretakers of our temple and our meaningful Dharma tradition. Our Sacramento Betsuin is the second oldest Buddhist temple on the mainland United States. The oldest temple is in San Francisco, founded in 1 year earlier in 1898. When our temple was founded at the turn of the century, it was not an easy time for those founding East Bay pioneers. They lived with few luxuries, and as an immigrant population, they did whatever they could to put food on the table and to protect and care for their families. Theirs was a generation that did not have the luxury to ask questions like, am I happy? Am I fulfilled by my work? Is this what I want to do with my life? Instead, they did whatever they could, whatever they were able to do to make ends meet. I mentioned this some years ago, but when our Sacramento Betsuin was a year old in the year 1900, the average life expectancy in the United States was only 47. There were only 8,000 cars in the entire country and only 144 miles of paved road. This meant that it was a whole day trip by horse and wagon on a dirt road to go from Florin or Walnut Grove, Lodi or Marysville into Sacramento. In 1899, 1900, the average worker in the United States made between $200 and $400 a year, which comes to less than 10 to 20 cents an hour. Can you imagine that? Our founding families knew tough times, but they had a vision. They had a dream, and in making many personal sacrifices, they worked together to found this temple, and in doing this, they planned for our future. We have this wonderful temple here today because the generations before us have done so much and have given so much to ensure that we would have this Dharma tradition as a part of our lives. As we are taught in Buddhism, nothing happens in a vacuum. Everything is interdependent. And our relatively pampered lives are rooted in the sacrifices of so many others. Today, as we begin the new year 2015, I thought, well, it's a good time to begin our membership drive request. Over the 116 years of our Betsuin's history, so many people and families have unselfishly sustained and nurtured our Dharma tradition. Everyone here today is able to enjoy the benefits of being a part of this temple and enjoy the many programs that are a part of the Betsuin because of so many others. Did you know that our Sacramento Betsuin has members who have supported their temple, for years and years, even though they live at such a distance that it is not easy for them to be here every Sunday or enjoy the programs available throughout the week. Teruyo Kunibe lives in South Lake Tahoe, has been a member for years. And Sachiko and Mary Yamamoto, who lived in Honolulu, they were members for decades before they passed away just a few years ago. We had members for decades who lived in Hawaii. From Southern California and San Ramon, Raymond and Kathy Yamamoto remain members of our Betsuin, although that work took them down to Southern California over 20 years ago. And their children, Natalie and Wesley, still come back when they can for the bazaar. And I like to give a shout out to Wesley and Natalie too. We have Jane and Phil Cobble, who have also proudly continued to help our Betsuin going with their support and membership, and they live in Irvine. And I think a special shout out has to go to our very long-time members, Michael and Cynthia Katayanagi in New York. It's amazing. We have members of our Betsuin in New York. I'd like to thank Michael and Cynthia for their continued support. And over 2 years ago, Tony and Monica Altieri been driving all the way in from Truckee whenever their schedule and the weather will allow them to be here on Sunday morning. And I thank them for their membership and support too. Tony and Monica drove him from Truckee today. It is really amazing that so many people really appreciate the Betsuin and the Dharma tradition that we have been able to provide. We who are enjoying this Betsuin and its many programs today, we have to do our best to ensure that the Betsuin will be able to celebrate its 200th anniversary in 84 years. So, if you haven't joined yet, please become a Betsuin member and help to sustain your temple. With our present building being now over 55 years old, we have encountered always major maintenance projects. And as some of you may have noticed, we are implementing some long overdue and long requested upgrades. Some may have noticed that over the break we've been installing new heating units and the long hope for air conditioning to the Kaikan, which will be much appreciated in the summer. But we have always tried to keep our dues reasonable. I think we all pay more for cable or for tennis shoes for our kids, huh? But supporting the Betsuin is not about asking what's in it for me. Supporting the Betsuin is all about realizing that this is your temple and it needs your continued support to carry on, and that this tradition is worthy of our continued support. As I mentioned, at every level, I am so proud to be a part of this temple. I'm proud of our members and programs and the positive impact that we've had on the lives of so many. And on behalf of the generations before and the generations to come, I thank you for your support and participation. This really is a great temple and a great Sangha to be a part of. And again, on behalf of Team Betsuin, I'd like to send our best New Year's wishes out to all of you and to all of our friends who can't be here today too. In closing, please join me in Gassho. This life we live, this day we enjoy, is a gift that we receive from the generations who have come before us. Although we could never have known the families who founded our temple in 1899, this too is a gift we continue to receive from them. As we are taught in Buddhism, everything is interdependent. We are all interwoven in the karmic fabric of time and space. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.